What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. Hope everybody's doing well out there on this Thursday. I'm doing good myself. Shout out to the brother Jamal Bay for sending me this video right here. This story. I just wanted to make sure, just waiting for the dust to clear and settle, before I did this story, because this particular situation went on for hours. You understand what I mean? And it says it. Gunman surrenders after standoff with cops in Philadelphia. I'm gonna tell you, I watched one of my favorite old time gangster movies is Hell Up in Harlem. Black Caesar, of course. But Hell Up in Harlem was that was the best one right there. I really liked it, that movie. You know what I'm saying? Well, I just said that to say this. Yesterday was Hell Up in Philadelphia. Okay, I couldn't believe when the dust settled and everything, it was a brother that they took in alive. It's two things with that right there. That kind of gets my attention. Number one, he pinned down an entire police force by itself for hours. It is allegedly, alleged that he wounded 6 officers. Okay. Number two, they took him in alive. You see what I mean? They took him in alive. Now, that right there, that one really, really gets my attention, simply because normally whenever a brother, go off or whatever, they hardly ever take him alive. They hardly ever do. And that brings me to this, my own personal opinion, my own conclusion, is that this is propaganda for gun control. Gun control. See, simply because right after he surrendered, or one of those politicians, I think it was little duck-faced Mitch McConnell, went right on talking about gun control, and everything. This is what they want to do. They want to take America's weapons away from them. See, but they're not going to give up their weapons. You tell me what politician. Ask Dick Cheney to give up his weapons. He's not going to do that. He shot his own friend in the face and claimed, they was supposed to be hunting pheasants or whatever. And it was supposed to be an accident. But he shot his own. You think he'd give up his weapons? Hell the fuck no. None of those politicians would give up their weapons. Why should you? Okay? This is just the way I feel about it. I actually believe this is all propaganda right here for gun control. But let's get into this. Let's check this video out, and then we'll get into the story.
Tonight, a dramatic standoff in Philadelphia finally coming to an end after more than 7 hours. 6 police officers shot before the gunman was taken into custody. Gio Benitez is on the scene in Philadelphia this morning with the very latest. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, David, good morning. Yeah, just an incredibly scary situation for both residents and officers. Take a look behind me, because if you look closely, you can actually see all of those evidence markers there on the ground. That's because more than 100 bullets were fired here, residents jumping fences just to get away from all that gunfire. Overnight, a dramatic surrender. A raging gunman turning himself into police. Maurice Hill taken into custody, bringing a violent 7-hour tense standoff to an end in Philadelphia.
Give me SWAT ASAP. Long gun ASAP. I got orders to shot.
His surrender comes after gunfire rained down on police for hours. Gunshots hitting 6 officers. Bullets ricocheted off the sidewalk and nearby homes. Officers crawling and crouching to avoid getting hit. The shootout started while officers were serving Hill with a narcotics warrant.
We have an officer shot, and they're still being shot at.
The situation quickly escalating when Hill, armed with multiple firearms, barricaded himself inside a home, holding 2 police officers hostage.
The guy's still on the stairwell shooting through his front window.
Police rushing their wounded brothers away from the barrage of bullets, one officer limping, hit in the leg, another in the arm.
It was like 100 shots.
SWAT teams rushing toward the home, crowds of officers surrounding the home on all sides, dozens of patrol cars filling the streets, the neighborhood, including a nearby Temple University campus, on lockdown.
I heard so many gunshots.
Several hours after the standoff began, remarkably, all of the officers were transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
This is nothing short of a miracle that we don't have multiple officers killed today.
After the hostages were released, the gunman, who phoned his attorney, Shaka Johnson, finally agreeing to speak with negotiators and hours later surrendering. And we're told this morning that all of those injured officers are going to make a full recovery. Again, non-life-threatening injuries, which is just incredible, Robin, when you think about how many shots were fired.
Oh, my goodness, but we are grateful. So grateful that they're all going to recover.
Several officers injured by suspect firing and shooting in Philadelphia. Suspect in custody. Amazing. So this is what it is. This is what it's like when a brother go off, right? You know what I'm saying? This is what it's all about. You know, y'all need a whole fucking police force and a SWAT team. This is wild. And I was so surprised to see, you know, once the dust settled, once it cleared, it was a brother that they took in alive. Not to say that, no, they shouldn't have took him in alive and all of that kind of stuff. You know, I'm glad that they did take him in alive. You understand? But it's just, it's a rare thing to see them actually take in a black man alive after doing something like this. On the real. See? But I don't even think air could have got between those officers. That motherfuckers was hugging the ground so damn close. Shit, if they didn't get up for themselves, shit, you would have needed some kind of scraper shit to get them up off the damn ground. They was laying so damn, they was laying too low. Shit, you almost became one with the damn cement. Yeah, that was something. But to get into the story, a gunman unleashed a hail of bullets at Philadelphia police officers Wednesday afternoon, wounding 6 and sending cops driving for cover behind cars, before barricading himself in a building with several hostages. The suspect finally surrendered at midnight, about 7 hours after the shooting began. The resolution ended a day marked by frightening violence, all caught live by overhead helicopters in the North Philadelphia neighborhood in Taga Nicetown. I guess I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah. As the man fired wildly at police officers who were seen evacuating injured comrades. Maurice Hill, 34, had been identified as the suspect, according to his lawyer and law enforcement sources. Hill surrendered peacefully to police and was seen exiting the building with his hands raised. The suspect barricaded himself inside a building on 15th Street, police said. The shooter began during a narcotics operation at around 4:30 p.m. when officers entered the home to serve a search warrant and were met with gunfire. Some officers had to escape through windows. And 2 were trapped inside the shooter for several hours. Well, in the shooter, for several hours, police said. The trapped officers were safely removed from the home as of 9:30 p.m. Shit, imagine shit if it had been, 5 or 10, brothers did this. I guess y'all got y'all little exercise yesterday. Y'all normally don't get action like this. There's a reason why. See, because if you see this right here, bunch of donuts, beer, and bratwurst. The motherfucker love bratwurst, man. I ain't lying. All kinds of shit. You understand? Bratwurst. See? And you would walk around here holding a damn, rifle and shit like he's some sort of hero and shit. And I bet he just getting to it when the damn thing was over with, You know how they like to act. But back to the story. The officers were struck in various parts of their bodies. And one had grazed wounds to the head. All 6 officers who were shot have now been released from area hospitals, police said. Out of action. Several rounds of gunfire continued for more than an hour. ABC Philadelphia station WPVI reported. Officers reported repeatedly commanded the shooter to come out with his hands up, according to the station. Hill's lawyer, Shaka Johnson, might be a Shaka Zulu. Shaka Johnson told ABC News he spoke to Hill during the standoff and organized a call between Hill, Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Kressner, and Philadelphia Police Commissioner Richard Ross. Johnson said the call was inconclusive. However, they continued speaking throughout the night. Eventually, Ross gave Johnson a deadline of 11:45 to get his client to surrender. He said Johnson convinced Hill, who was afraid he would be shot, to come out with him present for the arrest. Okay, so he got his lawyer to come out there and walk out there with him. Shit, I guess so. You know, after all of that, this is amazing, man. I'm gonna just say that. This is amazing for several reasons. You know, but to continue, Johnson said Hill, who he has represented for years. Damn, how long is his record? Who is represented for years, just had a baby and said he did not believe any of the shooting was planned, but things got out of hand. I'll say all of that. Damn. See, look at all these dope ass people. Look at these motherfuckers right here. Either one of us can do this job right here with no special training at all. Ain't none of these motherfuckers in shape. Look at this. Ain't none of them in shape. No way, shape, or form. They're not. Pork. All of them. Ross has spoken at press conference. Ross has spoken at press conference from the scene of the standoff late Wednesday, pleading for the shooter to turn himself in. We are trying to talk to this male, trying to let him know that he can end this peacefully now, Ross said. We have called him multiple times. He's picked up the phone a couple times, but he has not answered. He said officers have been working with a family member of the suspect, in an effort to reason with the shooter. See, y'all asses, it's like this. When y'all get somebody that shoots back, y'all want to hug the ground and shit and call in fucking, I can guarantee you, if he didn't surrender, well, let's say hypothetically speaking, it was 5 of him. 5 brothers doing this shit right here. And so the police force never, they couldn't do anything. SWAT came out, they couldn't do shit. Guess what was coming next? National Guard. You see what I mean? Y'all pathetic. And it should be some kind of annual physical fitness test, and a weight requirement, where you should be just so heavy. Cause these motherfuckers, ain't none of them in shape, man. Ain't none of them in shape. See? It's disgusting. But despite several attempts to talk to him, both on the loudspeaker and on telephone, we have been not been able to, have made contact with them thus far, Ross said. This is a very volatile situation that is still unfolding. So as a result, there's only so much I can tell you about what's going on inside that property. Okay, as the story continues. Let's see how much it continues. That's not much. We'll finish reading this a little bit. Okay. Property. One woman said she heard over 100 gunshots and saw people running for their lives. I heard so many gunshots. I'm scared, she told WPVI. Agents from the Bureau of Tobacco Oil and Firearms and Explosives are at the scene to assist, a spokesman said. Philadelphia Police Sergeant Eric Grip urged residents to avoid the area. And these are the pictures right here. And it says here, Temple University Health Science Center campus was put on lockdown. Seek shelter, secure doors, be silent, be still. Police are responding. The university tweeted. They would, well, whatever. But like I said, they pitiful. Look at this motherfucker right here. This is who I'm talking about. Look how low. I know you're supposed to get down, but that was one man. One man. Look at all this. One man. Y'all better quit pissing people off. Y'all better quit with your fat ass. Look at this. Y'all better quit pissing people off, because folks getting tired. But y'all tell me what y'all think about this story. I'm interested in hearing y'all thoughts and opinions on it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And this is James, and I'm out. Peace.